Have you ever encountered a hurdle with launching or growing your business? Listen, there are two things that run a business: the back end and your soft skills.
I'm telling you right now, if these aren't in place, you'll lose clients and you'll lose money. Don't want that? Well, you're in the right place.
Hey, I'm Dana.
Hey, I'm Sarah.
We're your hosts who are going to tell you how it is, give you tips and tricks, and even occasionally bring on a guest that care about supporting you grow your business organically and nurture authentic relationships. Are you ready?
Welcome back to Entrepreneur Encounter. Today, we're going to be talking about creating a positive team culture through team building activities and exercises. This can go with the team that you have internally, and this actually can involve the team aspect that you have with your client as well. Creating a positive team culture is important for any team to function effectively.
I would like to point out to anyone that is listening and has hopefully been following along since episode 1. When we talk about a team culture or a community that we're wanting to build up, gone are the days when we're talking about the brick and mortar, cubicle only team space. That may still be a thing. It is still a thing. We all know that. But now virtual teams is very much growing. And I worked with an agency, a number of people from all over the world on that team. And during like collaboration sessions or whatever the case may be that we were working on together, training, the whole collaborative process, there was always some sort of team building activities. One of them that was actually way more fun than I thought it was going to be was kind of an icebreaker and in the celebration. It was a virtual escape for real.
That's interesting, because my thinking is that when you go to an escape room, you are there physically.
I will have to find the company to put it in a certain spread. Because of course I can't think about it right now. But essentially almost like I think we got on Zoom. And then we would go into breakout rooms and then there were slides and things, but you couldn't move forward until you solved the puzzle. And so we split into two and we were competing against each other, just seeing who could move along in the slides, basically the fastest. There were clues, there were different things to figure out. It was interesting. We were very competitive, but everyone enjoyed it. It actually flowed super smoothly. So having a virtual team doesn't really give you a pass on trying to create a positive team culture, because we're all working together and we all need to be happy coming to work, feel like we can build upon each other, grow from each other. And that starts with, as silly as it sounds, is team building activities and exercise. We get to see how everyone handles pressure. We get to have first-hand glance of how people interact and speak with one another, how comfortable they are talking to the company. All of those things. I would really love to hear from the audience, like focus on communicating the group. But what are some team building activities and exercises that you've done? Add to the list.
I remember when I was working in office a couple of years ago, we would have team meetings. You would go into the conference room and then whoever's leading the meeting will just dive right into it. And everybody's just kind of sit around listening to the person that's running the team meeting. But as time went on, there was a few of us that have discussed that there are ways to make the meetings more fun, because who really wants to sit in a team meeting to where you're just talking about just work stuff? So there's different ways that you can incorporate the activities in these meetings. You can talk about feedback, which means that you can talk about a project that everybody's working on and get feedback and support each other. Celebration, celebrating wins. It doesn't matter. You can just, have a small win small win can be that you just got through the week, a busy week. And that is, you got through it and you're able to get your work done. And that shows, if you're celebrating those wins against everybody, the sense of pride and accomplishment that they were able to achieve everything as a team.
I think it's also important to not just celebrate the wins, but really dive deep into, and this may not be something that's involved with everyone on the team, but like struggles. Being creating some sort of environment where people can come with their struggles or just vent, whether it's work related or not, can make a big difference. Because I know I'm I've thought recently when people there's been the local network group that I've been a part of. I don't want to tell people I don't want to share my wins with someone who doesn't take the time to help me through my struggles as an entrepreneur. Some days are overwhelming. And I want to burn it all to the ground and start over some chase and right, like I need people that I can vent to about that. To be completely transparent, my bookkeeper, a lot of people who is the courage and I struggled with this, but like she's a great person for me to vent to because she is such a cheerleader. And normally I'm the cheerleader. I feel more comfortable sharing my wins with her because she's taken the time to vent or let me vent to her in some way, shape, or form and not judging me, but then saying, well, and she didn't really offer solutions. It's more like, well, what are you going to do? How do you want to fix this? So then I have the space to problem solve myself, but I get to bounce the ideas off her. And I feel confident in not burning my business to the ground to start over and taking another new step.
That's ideal because when you're working with the clients that you're working with, because I keep going back to where you're not working for somebody, you're working with somebody. Especially as a small business owner, as entrepreneurs, most of us come from the background of actually working in corporate and working the 9 to 5 and not getting the support we deserve, essentially. So one of the clients that I have, we have weekly meetings and sometimes we just talk about things that are going on in our life. And like we vent to each other. We're like, oh, how was your day? We're like, oh, this and that happened. And that, I think that creates a bond between the person that you're working with. And it's not just the client that you have, it's the people on your team. So if you have somebody working with you, like if you have a virtual assistant, an online business manager, a content writer, whoever's on your team, and you have those conversations, I think it creates that bond to be able to foster those relationships and help you expand.
And you never know, like, I think that helps you expand to places that you didn't think you could even go, which is amazing to see. So that enhances the collaboration so much more because the environment, the foundation of that allows. It also helps reducing conflict when team members have different opinions. So you're open to saying, hey, someone already gave me this much work. I'm not going to be able to meet this expectation. And now, but there's no risk of feeling like you're letting everyone down. You already have a lot on your plate, so someone else could step in, or maybe we shift priorities, shift the deadline, whatever the case may be, depending on what it is. And so then you build trust, which is crucial for any team, no matter virtual, in-person, hybrid, VA and CEO, partnerships, whatever the case may be, building trust is crucial.
No matter who you're working with and who's on your team, you're collaborating and working together to a common goal and working together to get to where you need to be, where they need to be, because you're helping your client, you're helping your team foster these relationships. The activities, the exercises help if you're working together long term, or if you want to develop a deeper relationship and understanding of the people that you work with.
I think it would be interesting to know towards, and like, I haven't done the research on this, but now I'm curious of how doing these team building activities, these icebreakers, these collaborative sessions will then translate into better customer service or building, strengthening the relationships with the clients, because everyone feels like they have input, they have value. It's almost individual leaders coming together. But by investing the time to connect with your team on various levels and various ways we mentioned before, it allows you to connect with your clients in the same way. You're able to connect with them in different levels You'll understand them better and how they communicate. You'll know which team member is the best fit. And it helps again with that improvement of communication, collaboration, and fostering positive working relationships. An example of that that comes to mind is I networked with a woman a few days ago at the time of this recording, and she was really amazing to talk to. She has a lot of projects. She launched her business at the same time that I did in 2020. Has surprisingly grown exponentially, but she's struggling to get things like organized where she's looking for like a CRM system that is aligned with her and how she operates. But the type of work that she needed or the price point that she had, I couldn't meet them because I do have my packages have been designed to align with me and what I need to like thrive myself personally. But I have a strong working relationship with my virtual assistant. And then one of them, because all my virtual assistants are pretty good contract work or whatever outside of Dana's desk. Here, they're good to go. And so one of them I know would meet her first point individually. So I checked in with her first, and just like throw her out there and say, I know we're going to take this. But checked in with her first and said, hey, I know you've mentioned wanting to find more work, and this is, I'd already mentioned to her, I was like, I'm really wanting to it anyway. Because like, if she's wanting this price point, are you comfortable with that? Are you good with it? Whatever. If you are, I'll go to make an introduction. And it took her a little time. She did think that. And she said, ultimately, she said yes. So I was able to help this relationship even more. She's not going to be a client of mine. But I helped my virtual assistant meet her goals for the month, and I'm helping this person meet their goals. And so now we're all going to essentially move forward together. Then maybe I'll get business from them eventually, but we've all left with a positive spin on each other, so that we all improved ourselves dramatically.
That's really important because when you're a part of whatever type of team you're a part of, it could be a networking team or like a networking group that you're a part of, or even the people that are already on your team. And then you can be a resource. That is super helpful because you're building the relationships, you're building the trust, because maybe one day that person will come back to you and say, well, I'm ready to work with you at your price point. I'm ready to continue this relationship with you. And that's pretty awesome.
I think it's crazy when, like, how interesting ideas get sparked when you create an environment like this to improve our business. Fostering relationships is key. I was just recently said in another group that I'm in is relationships over revenue. I think is something along those lines. And that is so true. If you take the time and research to improve your relationships with your clients and your team, the revenue will 100% show up. It will be there for as long as you probably need it. You might have to pivot to new places because that communication and collaboration has been set in place and set of a strong foundation. The revenue will come, no matter what, essentially, comes your way. And so I just think it's so important to talk to those you work with to help to continuously improve communication. Like, even with us on this podcast, I admitted that I felt like I've been slacking the last 2 weeks in my communication, but I'm still trying to like make sure things get posted and everything like that, so the work gets done and you can still trust that. So I don't want to do it, so I'm going to do it. And something is vocal about things because we're moms and husbands and children and everything else that goes on in life behind an entrepreneur's desk. And it's very interesting and comforting, I think, to know that the communication is still there regardless. If it's just a quick Facebook Messenger or a text message, whatever we use, and that we know things are moving forward in the ways that we dream for us to be.
With our combined years of experience, we want you to encounter the best of your entrepreneurship journey, encourage personal self-education, and have weekly inspiration to elevate your business.
For more information on where to find us, check out the show notes. If you have something to share or want to be a guest, DM or email us. And we can't thank you enough for being here with us. Until next time.